Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another late night stream of mine. And yeah, tonight we are doing U-Boat again. The game where we slip into the role of a German submarine commander in the Second World War, where we can immerse into a complete open world with real shipping lanes and no scripted encounters, but interaction with a real world. So I'm glad to be on Twitch again. Welcome, guys, and also a welcome to anybody who might watch this later on YouTube. I'm gonna upload the whole stream. Sorry guys, I don't have the time for cutting. But yeah, experience says that there are still a few guys who like to flip through my streams and find some interesting parts of it. So, what's the situation? It's Christmas, it's the 25th of December 1943, which means we are 4 years into the war, and I started it from the scratch. So what I'm doing here and sharing with you is a complete playthrough through the whole war. We have started that on September 1939, on the eve of the raid on Poland, on the eve of the start of World War II. And I am actually sharing just any adventure, any patrol, just anything with you, mission by mission. So at the moment we are in the Mediterranean, and we already had a few encounters. We already sank, I think, 3 or 4 merchantmen, and one of them we had to torpedo, the others we could convince to abandon ship, and we could just scuttle them. Yeah, to be honest, I wasted quite a few torpedoes on that fast-moving merchantman. There were quite a few, close misses. I got one thing confirmed, that it doesn't make sense to fire on a merchantman with a sound-seeking torpedo. It just homes in for the stern and does minimum damage there. I think this is one of the little things that the programmers could still improve on, patch that. Hey, weight loss, good evening. Great, you're just dropping in where I'm starting. So I hope you had a good Friday. And we are ready for the weekend. Yeah, terribly hot around here. That was a very, very hot day here. And just something like half an hour or 1.5 hours ago, we had a little bit of rain, and that initiated a bit of a temperature drop at least. But back to the game. The situation, discipline is pretty high. What about food? Yeah, we do have sufficient food. I even spent quite a lot of food for lifeboats, which were floating around the ships that we sank, doing some charity, improving our reputation. You see here we have some scrap metal, because in the last stream we did a little bit of a strain and stress test on our boat. So going deep created minor leaks which we had to repair. Some of them we needed replacement parts for, and so we created also a bit of scrap metal, 2 scrap metals you can form into one set of replacement parts again. Yeah, I am actually playing with the Deep Leaks mod, and the Deep Leaks mod actually introduces little leaks that occur as soon as you go deeper than 160 meters. And the good thing is you can increase the boat's readiness. Now we are at 14% by doing test dives and eliminate weaknesses. But eliminating weaknesses actually means we have to actually provoke a leak and repair it, and afterwards that leak wouldn't occur anymore. So at the moment 14%, although we went as deep as 200 and something, 230 or 240. Now, torpedoes. We have 4 torpedoes left. They're all in the 4 tube. And yeah, that's all. We don't have anything left in the deck storage. No, we do have something back up in the deck storage. Very good. Wasn't aware of that. So sooner or later we should get these torpedoes from the deck storage into the internal storage. Stern torpedoes both fired. That's where we are. And we are not too far away from the patrol area. And yeah, hey, let's do the loading of the external torpedoes to internal. Alright, so the 2 guys are gonna do it. That takes quite a long time. So they're setting up kind of a rig, a tackle, to help moving the torpedoes through the torpedo loading hatch into the boat. Okay, there they are. I don't know. I think they could have done this animation somehow nicer. And this arrangement here looks very unstable, to be honest. So like you could do it only when the sea is completely flat and no movement in the boat at all. Yeah, beautiful. The sunrise in the east. On we go. Okay, we reached the patrol area. Yeah, that's right, weight loss. So looks like they're all on holiday after the last update. And there is still quite a bit of stuff to do. Up to now they were pretty good in doing frequent updates and patches, but yeah, let's hope that they keep up that good work. Yeah, of course, there are quite a few things missing which we feel to be pretty important for immersion and gameplay, but we shouldn't forget that they already did a lot of great stuff. So who's gonna, Mr. Hinrich, please man the radio and report back to headquarters.
Telegramm gesendet. Ja? Herr Kaloy?
Navigation besetzen.
Okay, are they finishing it? Yeah. Great. Looks like it's almost done.
Wenn sich die Sonne neigt, fürchten schneidet. Mein Tagewerk ist getan. Bestätige, ist getan. Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Alright. So, still 6 torpedoes left, which is half the 4 complement.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy?
Navigation besetzen.
Ah, what's the water in the bilge? Well, just 14 liters, completely uncritical. 10:30 meanwhile. And I think another hydrophone check wouldn't do us any harm. Let's go.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
So, what's going on? When I order hydrophone check, the crew enters a standard workflow where it initiates diving, brings the boat to 50 meters, stops the engines, and then does a 5 minutes thorough hydrophone sweep. Depth steers manned, off-watch crew assembling in the fore compartment, and the ballast tank is already flooded. So, down we go.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Meter. Herr Kapitän?
Hey, Aqua-Icing.
50 Meter.
Good evening. How are you doing? So I guess yesterday night you spent on the TV watching the football match. Yeah, I haven't been watching. Yeah, you won yesterday. I'm fine as well. I'm perfectly fine as well. Bit of a busy day, but alright. And now into the weekend. So tomorrow afternoon and evening we are invited for a little summer party. It's actually 2 summer parties. One at the place of a good friend, an old school friend of mine, and the other party is with a colleague. And the funny thing is that the two guys are just next door neighbors by chance.
55 Meter.
So I'm gonna be able to switch the parties during the evening. Yeah, I haven't been watching the Canadian match last night, but Colin actually did while he was in the stream, so he did a little bit of reporting. And yeah, the positive thing that he reported was that I think you finally won the game, but one of your players was severely injured, right?
Turmgeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 330 Grad. Herr Kapitän?
Okay, quite a few contacts. One guy there.
Jawohl.
And one guy there. Wow, this is close. Just 12 miles. So this is now really the question, which direction they are moving towards.
Herr Kaloin? Herr Kaloin? Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
Now let's see if we already get a guess of their rough movement direction.
Anblasen.
Aktuelle Tiefe 35 Meter. 15 Meter. Herr Kapitän?
Auf Dieselmotoren
Could be an artifact, but it looks like they're moving that direction. So, assuming that it would be just an ordinary merchantman, they would be moving with 8 knots. And let's us go that direction with flank speed.
Navigation besetzen.
So, Mr. Arles, please
Diesel besetzen.
give us the engines. And let's go flank speed.
Voraus.
Oh, that would be... Yeah, we should be getting pretty close to them. Let's see if we get eyes on them like that. But let's first give it another save. $11 knots. Wow, see, we already do have eyes on them. Probably no chance for any identification on that distance, but It's minus 30 degrees. Let's try to confirm our observation. Yeah, looks alright. Maybe
Kurs auf diese
I should try
Koordinaten
not
setzen.
to get too close. Minus 50. So, guesstimation is that there and there. After something like 20 minutes. So an hour would see them 1, 2, 3. Hard to tell, but it might still be that it's just a slow moving fisherman. Nah, that's not a fisherman. So it's 75 degrees. Oh, yeah. So that would mean that they're moving still relatively slow. Let's do a hydrophone check to confirm.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Their course was just a very rough estimate, but it seems to be not too bad, this estimate.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Meter.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. 290 Grad.
There it is.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
45
Very good. Yeah, so I say they're moving with something like 7 knots, roughly. All right. So I put the boat already almost perfectly on a parallel course.
55 Meter.
But there should be a second hydrophone contact. Let's see if we hear some more. There we are, silently listening to this guy.
55 Meter.
But it looks like we don't get any hint on that contact anymore.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet. Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Teilung 115
Alright,
Grad.
that's him.
Herr Kaloin,
Okay. Yeah, probably also not a fisherman, but a relatively slow merchant. So with these information, we could go back to the surface.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Anblasen.
45 Meter.
So what's happening? Mr. Schneider here opening the valves, and you hear this piping noise. That's the compressed air now rushing into the ballast tanks, pushing the seawater out of the tanks back to where it belongs. And of course the boat then starts popping up like a cork,
5
or
Meter.
Auf
almost like.
vier Motoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloin, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Here we are. Okay, there they are. What type of ship is that?
Kurs setzen.
Now they're moving with 7 knots. And us being considerably faster with something like 16 knots. So next our position should be there relative to them. So keep the safe and let's go. Was a quarter to 12. Let's go for another hour. There they are, abreast, straight abreast.
Ja.
I would like the captain to have a little rest. He's pretty tired. Hey, it does work. Now a sailor took his position. 2 sailors are taking the position. That wasn't working for months. All right. Yeah, you remember that problem that we had when there was no officer on the bridge, that no crew members were taking over.
Kurs setzen.
Now let's confirm the position once more with one more hydrophone check.
50 Meter.
So they should be there by now. Yeah, just to be sure that my estimation of their speed is fairly correct. Because this is pretty important in case we would do the torpedoing. I'm actually playing on almost maximum difficulty level, so it's pretty important to know the exact speed of your target because you have to enter it manually. And it's also pretty important to know the course, everything. And what else? Yeah, you already saw it on the map. I am also playing with this setting where the position of contacts is not automatically displayed on the map, but you have to track them by hand. I personally pretty much love that feature.
25
I would even love to track my own position manually on the map and not being marked with, if they would implement some means of navigation.
Teilung 250 Grad.
I would love that. Taking the sun at lunchtime or things like that, or navigation with the chronometer would be pretty unprecise, but wonderful. Wonderful immersion.
Aktuelle Tiefe 55
Ich erwarte
Meter.
Ihre Befehle.
There they are.
Probengeräusch. Handelsschiff.
That's the
Teilung
one guy.
40 Grad.
And let's assume they're going with 8 miles per hour. What about these guys?
Herr Kapitän,
50 Meter.
Could be a slow merchant. Maybe not a fast fisherman.
55 Meter.
So my dead reckoning here seems to be pretty good. So we can accelerate time a bit to bring us back to the surface. It's 12 o'clock, so we might do this approach still in daylight.
Wechseln.
Herr Kaloin, Sie sind aufgetaucht.
bosun, Mr. Schultz, please take a look at the target. So guys, what do you think? Which kind of type of ship is this? Degrees. So it's 110 degrees. Something like that. All right.
Peilung 250 Grad.
Yes. It's this one, isn't it? So that's my guess, that it is a Liberty, and the Liberty is armed. So this is going to be a torpedo attack, probably. Displacement, typical displacement of around 7,000 tons. Alright, let's see. So first guess, it's a Liberty. Or please, any comments in the chat if you agree or disagree.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Let's assume them to be here by now. And now if we go for 15 minutes, if we go for 15 minutes, should be like that. Let's do it. No, I won't send that report. I'm always afraid that this might alert them. They might be able to pick up our radio signal. Now, please take a check on the bridge once more.
Alarm! Handelsschiff in Sicht! Peilung 255 Grad.
Pretty sure that it's this guy. And maybe this is the right point in time to dive. Angle 150. It's 105 or something. Okay, unclear. There is a lot of uncertainty now, I would say.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy?
Seerohrtiefe.
Yeah, guys, you can step away from battle station for now. Yeah, they won't spot us on that distance.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind auf Seerohrtiefe. Boot für Rundblick eingesteuert.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
So I actually would like to give some coffee to the captain.
Bestätigen.
There he is, extracting the periscope. Yeah, we could extract it to the maximum on this distance. No chance that they spot us. There they are. I am relatively sure that it's a Liberty. Velocity seems to be 7. And the angle on bow with the 105 degrees. We would have an estimated angle on bow of them towards us of 32 degrees.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
But it's a rough guesstimate, and the distance guess would be now 5 miles. Maybe something like 8 kilometers.
Schussunterlagen
As
aktualisieren.
a first guess.
8000 Meter. Lage 3, 2 rechts.
So we are gonna torpedo them.
7 Knoten.
This is an armed merchant, and yeah, the funny thing is that actually the armament of transports, it has much more firepower than our deck gun in several ways. So that late in the war, armed merchants definitely had more guns and heavier guns than we have that one on our deck. And on the other hand, a merchantman is a much more stable platform for the guns. So aiming from a relatively stable merchantman deck is of course much easier than from a shaking submarine deck. That's the point. So never try. You have really no chance to do a surface attack on an armed merchantman. Yeah, I think they are even better armed than a corvette. Yeah, my guess is that the corvette is kind of optimized on depth charge hunt. Okay, I'm having a glass of sangria, by the way. That goes well with the weather. It was unbelievably hot around here today. I couldn't even give you a temperature. I didn't check it, but it was hot. Yeah, and weather forecast says that it's quite an extended spell of hot weather for a week or more. Let's see. So now half an hour would bring them there. We are moving with 10 knots, so half an hour would easily bring us there. Or more like quarter of an hour. So it should more look like this after 15 minutes. Let's go in and put ourselves right in front of their course. And give it another little save. Just to be safe. Better safe than sorry.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 210 Grad. Herr Kaloin.
Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
More propellers. Okay, that's them. That's consistent to have them there. No, there.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
Herr Kapitän.
Yep. There they come. So they should pass within a range of 17 cables by now.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
7 cables. Let's reduce speed. I think we are already in a good firing position. Now I want somebody to support the depth keeping at the depth steers. Mr. Arlos, one of the engineers, well, one of the mechanics. Please do that. To make sure that we don't broach the surface and give away our presence and position. I think we should even
Alle
stop by
Maschinen
now.
stopp.
There they are coming in. And now I have to start to be a bit careful with the periscope. They might spot it. what's the maintenance status of my torpedoes? Alright, but yeah, it will still take a little while until they are in firing range. Maybe I'm a bit too close. So now it's 75 degrees. Which means that the angle on bow is an estimate of 13 degrees. Well. Yeah, not bad. Not too bad, I would say. Hey, Collie, good evening. Nice to have you in. How are you doing? Yeah, it's a liberty, right? Glad to hear that you come to the same conclusion. Distance now. One, two. 1.8. 3. 6, maybe 4.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung 4000 Meter.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's Scotland.
Rechts.
So fingers crossed for your country. Let's give it another save.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Okay, hydrophone. The hydrophone is very unreliable on these short distances.
Aktualisieren. Entfernung zum Ziel 3404 Meter.
Oh, Morocco is in the lead at the moment.
kleine Fahrt zurück.
Maybe I'm a bit too close at the moment. So, Mr. Schultz, our bosun, please operate the torpedo calculator and let's see what about maintenance. Okay, tube 1.
Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum. Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen. Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
Distance.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung 2, 4,
60.
3, 4 Meter.
60 degrees.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
So, angle on bow is 28.
Torpedorohr 3, gewartet.
$32. Yeah, all right.
Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
All right, I want to have freshly maintained torpedoes, please.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung 2, 1, 8, 1 Meter.
40 degrees.
Torpedorohr 2, gewartet.
Alle Maschinen, stopp.
So that gives us an angle on bow of 50. 30. Fifty-seven.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung zum Ziel. 7 Meter. Kleine Fahrt, voraus. Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung 1, 6, 4, 7
40.
Meter.
Just 20, giving us an angle of 67. Yeah, that's all right, roughly. I think we can go with that. Give us a final distance.
Aktualisieren. Entfernung 1, 4, 7, 8 Meter. Gegnerlage 6, 8 rechts. Rohr 1 bewässern.
Tiefe 7.5.
Rohr 1 bewässert. Los! Rohr 2 bewässern.
Rohr 2 bewässert.
Los! Rohr 3 bewässern.
Rohr 3 bewässert.
Los!
Herr Kaloin?
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Bestätige.
Ja.
Okay.
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg.
It's gonna go.
Das Torpedo einstellen.
Could be a close miss. Could still be a close miss.
30 Sekunden. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedo einstellen.
Fingers crossed that it's not a dud.
20 Sekunden. 30 Sekunden.
Yes.
20 Sekunden. 30 Sekunden.
Second hit.
Schwere Schäden. 20 Sekunden.
Wow. Why is the guy changing course? Wow. Okay. That was maybe a bit more than you would need, but you never know. When you play at high difficulty level, it's sometimes pretty hard to get the exact data that you need, and small errors might sum up so that, yeah, you really miss Yeah, the boilers, yeah, aqua icing, of course. That was too many torpedoes. But I would like to play safe. When you do all the torpedo calculations manually, then, yeah. Let's have marshmallows, yep. That guy is going down. Let's hope that it's something like 7,000 tons. Okay, the crew is evacuating. Yeah, my approach is always that, yeah, I think if I fire 3 torpedoes with that spread, one to the bow, one to the center, one to the stern, that if I have some errors in the distance or in the speed or in their angle on bow, finally at least 2 or at least 1 of these torpedoes might still hit. Yeah, usually 1 torpedo hit is enough to sink one of these guys. Here now you see how many guns they have. So there is 1 gun in the bow and 2 guns there in the fore area of the ship, and 1 big gun in the stern and 2 smaller guns in the stern. So they have terrible firepower in contrast to our little submarine. Do we see the places where we did hit? Yes, there 1 hit. And there is a big hole in the bows just as well. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hits, yeah. No chance for them. No chance. And there they are, going down into the unfathomable depths.
Sie sinken.
Gut gemacht.
Anblasen.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
Aktuelle Tiefe 10 Meter. Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln. Lenzpumpe einschalten.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Halbe Fahrt voraus. Kurs setzen.
And man the radio and report this success towards the headquarters. Here we go. Yeah, it might be something like 7,000 tons. Let's see. Ah, yes, here we see. Now we have sunk 2,000. Yeah, okay, it was 7,200 tons. On this patrol, we need 10,000, obviously. So we still need to sink 1 more ship.
Alle Maschinen, stopp.
Now let's check the lifeboats. And the wreckage in general. Lifeboat 1, lifeboat 2. Lifeboat 3. Lifeboat 5, I'm not gonna give them food. Sorry guys, I'm sure you have a bit of supply. Some supply. So no officers. Let's get the preserved pork on board. Okay, so my fingers crossed. So nothing against Morocco. I have a colleague who is from Morocco and he's a great guy. But still, I have to admit that my heart is with the Scots.
Herr Kaloi? Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum. Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum.
So, anything else? Vegetables. Come on, let's pick up the vegetables as well. I think I'm not gonna pick up the tires. I'm not in dire need of budget, so I don't have to bother myself with that.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloi.
zu sehen. Ich wusste immer, dass ich in ihre Fußstapfen treten würde. Es liegt mir im Blut.
Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
Yeah, let's get going again. There is still these guys.
Kurs auf diese
Shall we
Koordinaten
go for them?
setzen. Äußerste Kraft voraus.
Two hours. And us. Yeah, perfect.
Kurs setzen.
Let's do it like that. Yeah, okay, it sounds good. It sounds like you're pretty optimistic that you're gonna turn it around against Morocco and make the match. By the way, let me see. Where do we have the statistics? Combat, torpedo hits. Torpedo accuracy is still slightly above 60%, which is, I think, pretty alright if you consider that I am doing the maximum difficulty level and that I usually do not reload just because I have a missed torpedo. Let's give it a save. I didn't save it since we sank the guy, right? Past 2, so we are going till 10 past 4. Oh, what's the matter?
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Natürlich, Herr Kaloi.
And let's go
Tauchen auf.
do another hydrophone check.
Kurs setzen.
Wow, yeah, the sun is setting. Beautiful atmosphere again.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5
Auf
Meter.
E-Motoren wechseln.
Alarm! Handelsschiff als eingespielte Mannschaft werden wir dem Feind zeigen, wozu ein U-Boot in der Lage ist. 25 Meter.
Guys, you can step away from battle station for now. "65 degrees, was it?"
45 Meter.
So they must be closer than I thought, which in turn means that they're moving faster than I thought.
Meter.
Let's see what we get from the hydrophone.
Herr Kaloi.
Yeah, wow. There they are.
Kurs setzen. Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
Yeah, with this information we should go back to
Auf
periscope
Seerohrtiefe.
depth.
Tauchen auf 15 Meter.
Somebody caring for keeping depth.
45 Meter. Seerotiefe 25
Yeah, it's
Meter.
4 o'clock, but it's winter, so the sun is setting pretty early. The night is very long. One of these wonderful features that is so beautifully implemented in the game
15 Meter. Herr Kaloin, 20 Meter. Auf Seerotiefe.
Yeah, please give me periscope depth.
Meter. Herr Kaloin, wir sind auf Seerotiefe. Boot für Rundblick eingesteuert.
There they are. Alright, this is also a larger one, isn't it? Let's see. First glimpse. Nope. No, that's just one of these old school classical guys. It's probably a... Here, this one. It's an Empire Tower. What do you think, guys? By the way, Colin, it's a tower, right? Yeah. Yep. I feel very honored, Colin, that you are visiting my stream while the Scottish national team is playing at the World Championship. It's always a pleasure to have you in the stream. So, question is, what speed should I go? It's relatively uncritical because this guy has no guns. So the only point is we have to get close enough and then we will surface and shout surprise, surprise, and they're hopefully gonna abandon the ship, being completely scared of us. Let's hope that it works like that again, so that we can just scuttle the ship. Yeah, ramming speed. What's the name of this movie? There is this very old movie from the era when they just left the black and white movies. It's Ben-Hur. There is this, great naval battle scene with the galleys.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
It's a great movie. I was always thinking about watching it again. One quiet Saturday or Sunday, but I think it's something like 3 hours, so it's really a project. I remember that I was fascinated by that movie from the very first time I watched it. I think I was still a child when I first saw it.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
Yeah, maybe I could just stop here and wait
Alle
for them
Maschinen Stopp.
to pass by. Velocity 7, I guess. Angle on bow right now. Pretty much something like, I don't know, maybe that. 70 degrees is the angle. So the angle on heading. So the angle on bow would be something like that, 18 degrees, roughly. So much less. Yeah, never try to do the angle on bow just by gut feeling. At least for me, I always have it wrong when I try to do the angle. The only, if it is so shallow an angle, if you're finally in the situation where you are perpendicular to their course and when they are then right ahead of you, then it's pretty clear that the angle on bow must be something close to 90 degrees. But in these situations, when you have that kind of a shallow angle, I always find it so hard to estimate.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Maybe you retract the periscope a bit just to make sure that they don't spot it.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
Yeah, just for training, let's check the distance, which would be roughly like that now. 1.5 miles.
Schussunterlagen
Roughly.
aktualisieren. Entfernung 278,4 Meter. Winkel 5, Bug links.
.38 degrees.
Aktualisieren. Winkel 4,0, Bug links. Halbe Fahrt voraus.
And maybe this is the right point in time to finally get to the surface. Yeah.
Große Fahrt voraus. Anblasen. Aktuelle
So
Tiefe
here we
5
go.
Meter.
Trying to scare the shit out of them and make them abandon the ship without any evasive maneuvers or something.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht. Herr Kaloi, feindliche Schiffe geben Alarm.
Bleibt wachsam, aber
Yes,
keine
they
Panik.
do.
Wir machen das schon.
Okay, they are ringing an alarm.
Alle Maschinen, stopp!
And now let's see if we can make them give up. Communicate that we intend to sink the ship. After our crew sends the light signal that we are intending to sink, then a commotion is quickly seen on deck and the crew is leaving the ship. Very good. Let's give it a save and send the boarding party. So our first mechanic, our chief engineer, and the bosun, and 7 crew hands. Keep going, guys. Grab your cutlasses and board the ship. Engine room. We're gonna scuttle the ship right away. And yeah, scuttling is always quick. Down they go. Empire, Malta. So we have done the 10,000 tons, which was the goal of our mission. Two officers, let's get them on board. No wreckage, so let's go. By the way, yeah, we are running out of ordnance. Still 3 torpedoes left. That's sufficient for one decent attack. But maybe that would be a good point in time to return back home. And oh yeah, we might still do a hydrophone check now and then on the way back home. And maybe sink another guy. So now we are at 177,000 tons. And we finally need to reach 250,000 tons. So we still have something like 74,000 tons to go. Ah, no, I transferred them already. I already did transfer them to the internal stores. But in principle, I love that concept that they increased the realism level by introducing the external storage. Pretty much like that. Only the loading process from external to internal could still be made a bit more realistic, I think.
Halbe Fahrt voraus.
Yeah, food is still fine. Discipline should be alright as well. Yeah. And there we have the sun already coming close to the horizon, dropping out of the clouds into the sea. Beautiful. They do that so great. Ah, yes, we should report our successes to the headquarters. So, Mr. Hinrich gonna man the radio room and report what we did. Patrol completed.
Funktelegramm gesendet. Yeah, let's do a bit of time acceleration. And then on the way back home, doing a few hydrophone checks now and then. Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy? Hey, Captain Jimbo is with us. Good evening. So, thank you very much for the raid and welcome you and your watchers to the stream. How are you doing? Good evening. Yeah, great to have you here. What have you... I think you had been streaming UBOAT as well, hadn't you? Or were you doing Foxhole again? Yeah, like here, it's slow progress in the Mediterranean. Yeah, well, I think the Mediterranean actually is a bit lame in comparison to the missions we had before here in the Arctic and on the other side of the Atlantic. Yeah, they should pimp the missions a bit. They should introduce some air coverage in the Mediterranean, which is completely missing. Yes, I can imagine that. Happy times when you still have the... I think, if I remember back in this campaign that I'm doing, I think I did the happy times still with the Type 2 as well, yeah. But nevertheless, I pretty much liked to start with the Type 2. So let's do another hydrophone check here.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Jawohl, Herr Kapitän.
'Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter. E-Motorenwechsel. ...25 Meter.
Yeah, okay, no problem. But yeah, great that you dropped in briefly with the raid. So yeah, when you have to work tomorrow, of course. So all the best. Have a good day tomorrow. Hope work is going well. And
Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
wow, yes. 5-stream streak, great. That's wonderful. So, have a good night and have a good day. And yeah, I hope that maybe on Sunday at least you have a day off.
könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen. Bestätige. 50 Meter.
Yeah, no contact at the moment. That's what it looks like.
55 Meter.
Listening range seems to be a bit limited. Don't know why. Maybe because of rough sea. Yeah, so down here we are a little bit decoupled from all the noise of the surface, giving us quite some enormous range for the listening with the hydrophone. So within this circle here we should be able to detect just any moving propeller. Yeah, it's almost 90 miles radius.
Anblasen.
Aktuelle Tiefe 25 Meter.
5 Meter.
Ja?
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloy, wir sind aufgetaucht. Natürlich, Herr Kaloy.
2 o'clock, which means change of watch. Some
Hier etwas Unterstützung.
bit of management to do after each change of watch.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Ah, 6 in the morning, and it seems to be pretty overcast, but the sun is probably already
Vor 1 gewartet.
up. Maybe we just can't see it because it's behind the clouds, but I'm not quite sure. For winter, 6:30.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Come on, let's do another hydrophone check.
Auf 50 Meter.
Yeah, stores in the galley are still alright.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5
Auf
Meter.
E-Motoren wechseln.
Meter.
Herr Kaloin?
Herr Kaloin?
Ja? Jawohl, ich komme noch.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Meinung 255 Grad.
Okay,
Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
contact. Moving with high speed, okay. Merchantman with high speed could become an interesting chase.
Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Alright, yeah. There they are.
Meter.
If it's moving fast, it might well be going 12 knots. And if we go to flank speed, we could get pretty close to that guy
Kurs setzen.
within 1 hour.
50 Meter.
Hey, Uncle nice to have you in. I guess you had been coming in with Captain Jimbo, right? How are you doing?
Schraubengeräusch. Handelspfiff. Teilung 305 Grad. Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Another one. Yeah, by the way, perfectly fine if you're just lurking.
Kurs setzen.
Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
Anblasen.
35 Meter.
Alright, back to the surface. And yeah, all the engineering guys are off watch at the moment, but sorry, I need one of you
Diese besetzen.
to care for the diesel to get the most out of it, so that we can actually go flank speed. So now it's 10 past 8. Let's move on till 10 past 9. Any smoke column? Nope. But let's do the next hydrophone check to get an estimate of their direction, of their bearing, and their estimated speed. again off-watch crew running to the front compartment. The valves, I guess, they are already open, so water is streaming into the ballast tanks, dragging the boat down. We're gonna stabilize at 50 meters, turn off the engines there, and do some 5 minutes silent listening.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5
Auf
Meter.
E-Motoren wechseln.
Meter.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 315 Grad.
350 degrees.
Herr Kapitän.
Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
Ay, come on, that guy's really moving fast then. Huh. "14 knots.
55 Meter.
Does it really make sense to chase that ship which is moving with 14 knots?
55 Grad.
Maybe better try to chase down this one.
Meter.
It's also fast mover. But with 10 knots we have a decent chance to track them down. 14 knots might be tough.
Meter.
Next hour would bring them there. Next hour would bring us there.
Meter.
One more hour.
Anblasen. Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloy, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Flank speed. Let's keep in mind that at 10 o'clock there is gonna be a change of watch and we have issue new orders or confirm the existing orders.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloy.
Tauchen auf.
Now let's do another hydrophone check. Yeah, this guy should be far gone by now. Here, nice. The crew assembled in the front compartment. Ballast tanks are already filled, so we are about to go down.
Motoren wechseln.
Herr Kapitän.
Meter.
45 Meter.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 70 Grad.
No. Okay, it's that guy. And this kind of confirms
10
my
Meter.
estimation, but it might be that they are a bit slower than I first guessed. We will see.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Aktuelle Tiefe 55 Meter.
Another hour would bring them there, and so
Schrauben gerollt. Handelsschiff. 275 Grad.
yeah, the other one, this one which is moving away probably.
50 Meter.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
Yes. That's really moving fast. That's incredible.
Meter.
Herr Kaloin?
Yeah, 19 liters of water in the bilge. That is completely uncritical, not even worth mentioning. Yeah, like usual, I finished the hydrophone check to make sure that we don't miss anything. But it looks like that's it. Yeah, let's accelerate time a bit to finish the hydrophone check.
Anblasen.
And there we go, back to the surface.
35 Meter. Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloin, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Now another. Yeah, less than an hour. +10. So that was roughly 45 minutes, yeah. And in 45 minutes, I could guesstimate that they might be there. Let's do another hydrophone check.
Offen auf 50 Meter.
The last one before we bear down on them. Yeah, the German team is going to play tomorrow. I have to admit, I don't know whom we are meeting in the game. Anybody of you knows?
Aktuelle Tiefe 5
Auf
Meter.
E-Motoren wechseln.
Who will be our opponent tomorrow?
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 85 Grad.
25 Meter.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 245 Grad.
Ah, okay.
45 Meter.
Okay, yes. The Ivory Coast, yes. Yeah, my French is almost non-existing, but
Aktuelle Tiefe.
at least this I get.
Meter.
Herr Kapitän.
Yeah, my guesswork is not too bad, I would say. And where is the other guy? Yes, I still have contact. They should run out of reach sooner. Interesting. Yeah, but it makes sense. Makes sense to have them there, yeah. Aktuelle
Tiefe 55 Meter.
Yep. Okay, yes. Yeah, that's very nice of your friends. I think in the last 1 or 2 championships the Germans didn't perform that well. But yeah, I think I'm not the football expert, but I think there are people who are more optimistic this time. And yeah, the first game of the German team was okay. It was maybe not the toughest opponent, but yeah. They did score quite a few goals. What's the actual distance now? 9 miles. We could just wait it out or head towards them. Yeah, we don't have to go to periscope depth right away. I think I'm gonna get back to the surface once before we do the final approach. no any new contacts. Let's accelerate time slightly to shorten the waiting time of the hydrophone check.
Anblasen.
And there we go,
60 Meter.
back to the surface.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloin, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Halbe Fahrt voraus.
Any smoke? Yeah, we already have eyes on them.
Alle Maschinen, stopp. Halbe Fahrt voraus. Kurs setzen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
So now let's estimate another half an hour would bring them there and would bring us so maybe we should just go 15 minutes for now.
Kurs setzen.
Now it is 11:15.
Torpedo vor 1 gewartet.
Now, Captain, please take a look at the target.
Torpedo vor 4 gewartet.
Alarm. Handelsschiff in Sicht. Peilung 330 Grad.
Yeah, hard to tell at this time from that angle what type of ship that is. Do you already have any guesses what type of ship it is? I'm not yet quite sure if it might be a Liberty. I think not, but it could be, so as the Liberty is one of the armed ones, let's play it safe. And
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
let's dive. To periscope depth to make sure that they don't spot us prematurely. Guys, you can step away from battle station.
Alarm beenden. Herr Kaloin, wir sind auf Seerohrtiefe. Boot für Rundblick eingesteuert. Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
All right. There they are.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
125 Grad.
Not too much of a surprise.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
Ah, that must be a mistake. That can't be true. Yeah, okay.
Alle Maschinen stopp. Alle Maschinen stopp.
Is it a bit foggy? I think it's yeah, there is a bit of a haze in the air. Not a purple haze, more a gray one. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ah, was this that was the first game of the Scottish, right? So still everything open. What's your next opponent, by the way? Oh yes, it's a Liberty.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloin.
65 degrees.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Yeah, velocity was 8. I think. Let's hope that this is correct. 60 degrees.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
Gives an angle on bow of 30 degrees. And what's the distance at the moment from the... Oh, I didn't yet press the identify button.
Aktualisieren. Entfernung 3, 2, 2, 9 Meter. Linke 3, 1, Bug links. Gegnerfahrt 8 Knoten.
Yeah, a little bit less than 2 miles. By the way, I have to be AFK for 1 minute, so I beg for your patience. again, thanks for your patience. Let's carry on. Maybe give it a save here. And let's give a check to the torpedo maintenance. Yes, there needs to be some maintenance carried out.
Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloin. Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Bestätige.
Cheers, guys. I'm having another sangria.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
Aktualisieren.
Yeah, still a bit more than
Entfernung zum Ziel.
1
2,
mile
2,
away.
9, 3 Meter. Winkel. 7, Bug, links.
Okay, maybe my extrapolation is not 100% correct. Maybe it's a bit more on a parallel course like that. No. It's a bit of guesswork always. And you always have to also be a bit lucky. $55. Giving an angle on bow of 36. Okay, not too bad what I have here.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung
50.
zum Ziel. 1, 7, 9, 7 Meter.
$40. All right. That does look good.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
All right, maintenance looks good as well. Now, Mr. Schultz, please man the torpedo calculator.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung 1,499 Meter. Lage 4,0 Bug links.
45. Yes.
Aktualisieren. Entfernung zum Ziel 1,204 Meter.
35. 35. 55. 25. 65. Yes, I think we are doing all right. Distance.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung zum Ziel 1,073 Meter. Lage 6,7 Bug links. Rohr 1 bewässern.
Rohr 1 bewässert.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Gegnerlage 7,6 links. Los! Rohr 2 bewässern.
Rohr 2 bewässert.
Los! Rohr 4 bewässern.
Rohr 4 bewässert.
Los! 40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. Ja. 30 Sekunden.
Now, fingers crossed that my figures were all right. That looks not too bad.
40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. 20 Sekunden.
Please not a dot. Please, fingers crossed.
Bis Torpedoeinschlag. Schwere Schäden.
Next one.
20 Sekunden. 30 Sekunden.
All right.
Schwere Schäden. 20 Sekunden. Kleine Fahrt, voraus. Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Yeah, they are calling for help now, of course. Let's report the spotting of the transport, but it's not yet
Gesendet.
sunk. It's still in the process of sinking. So that was pretty good. The torpedoes exactly did hit where I wanted them to hit.
Herr Kaloi, eingehendes Funktelegramm.
So my figures were very precise. Or if they were unprecise, my arrows were kind of cancelling out each other. There they go. Okay, 5 lifeboats and some debris. Let's get to the surface.
Einblasen. Aktuelle Tiefe 10 Meter.
Funktelegramm gesendet.
Let's take a look at our overall tonnage now. Yeah, wow, 184,000 tons.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Okay, they say it's too far.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Let's get closer. Ah, by the way, yeah, let's just check what the debris is about. If it's worthwhile to salvage it.
Alle Maschinen, stopp.
see what's the status in our stores. Yeah, let's see if we can salvage some grain. There should be some good use for grain in the Reich that late in the war. I guess that the supply of food was getting short. Yeah, if I think about it from that point of view, war is really something completely crazy. Okay, so this will be a little bit of running to and fro. Come on, but let's take that effort and see what reward we get if we sell that grain back home.
Bestätige. Bestätige.
Yeah. And I think grain should even get a relatively good price, but on the other hand, it's relatively useless as budget. Since the very first weeks of the war, budget is not my problem. So, in terms of weighting the game, balancing the game, I think they could also do some balancing about the money. I think money comes in too easy. They should make it a bit harder. Or I don't know, maybe in the last stage of the war it becomes harder, but I never did play the game completely to the end. Oh, he gets stuck. Yep.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloi. Jawohl, Herr Kaloi. Bestätige. Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
And meanwhile, get the remaining grain on deck. How much will it be? Only one. All right. So it will be 10 grain in total. Just fine. So pick it up, please.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloy. Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Alright, so we got 10 grain in total. Let's get going. Let's get back home.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. AK voraus. Halbe Fahrt voraus.
Let's give it a save. And then wish me Godspeed and a safe journey home.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
I think I would not do any hydrophone checks on the way.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloin.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Endlich ein paar Stunden Pause.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloy. Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Yeah, there could well be transports which I could just scare, sink by scaring them. But yeah, come on, let's get back home. Without any torpedo, it's better to get back home. And we did finish
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
the goal of the patrol, so we are
Benötige
perfectly
hier etwas
fine.
Unterstützung.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Jawohl, Herr Kaloy. Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
So let's check the status of the galley.
Bestätigt.
It's still perfectly fine. Let's carry on.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloin.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Bestätige.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloin.
A fishing boat, come on. beautiful. Yeah, we can't accelerate time any further because there must be some fishermen around out of vision range, but okay, here we can go to maximum time acceleration again.
Hier etwas Unterstützung.
On the way back to La Spezia, our temporary home port at the moment.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloy. Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Did you ever try that? Did you ever try what happened?
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloy.
If you would surface underneath a fishing boat? Yeah. And let me try it. Yes, yes. Yes. Yeah. I know. And that's perfectly fine.
Etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Yeah. Ah, guys.
Unterstützung.
It's so great to have you in the stream. So we are almost there, back home.
Etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Let's ignore these radio transmissions.
Funkraum besetzen.
It's about the weather forecast, right? Great intelligence. The weather forecast says it's raining, but it is not. But we do have quite a bit of a wave going on, actually. Click to send a report. Maybe that's about the fishing boat that we spotted.
Sind aufgetaucht.
Funktelegramm gesendet.
Wow, 17 knots. This is maybe the worst storm that I had since we are in the Mediterranean. And it does make a difference in terms of waves, size of the waves. Quite some swell that we get.
benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum.
And there we are coming home.
Herr Kaloy, wir befinden uns in flachen Gewässern.
It's evening or even nighttime. If there weren't these ugly violet eyes, it could be very atmospheric. That I really wonder why they can't get that under control. Wow, quite a swell that we have.
Kurs setzen. Alarm.
Eingespielte Mannschaft werden wir dem Feind zeigen, wozu ein U-Boot in der Lage ist.
Come on, step away. I think this is just fishermen. We had that before. Maybe reduce speed.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Alarm. Auf Gefechtsstation.
Dafür haben wir trainiert. Wir werden das gemeinsam durchstehen.
Okay, now there we are going in for our final mooring.
Herr Kaloin, wir haben unsere Position.
All right. I also want to have a manual save. Now let's do the mission report. Edward Strauss. It's his 25th war patrol. All right. Mr. Schneider gains some experience for repairing leaks. Mr. Arlos received the German Cross in gold. And repairs gets whatever these points are called. Points for repairing leaks. Same for Mr. Grade, our chief engineer. And Mr. Schulz, he's okay. Getting, yeah, also for his 25th patrol, and the captain is not too far away from the Knight's Cross with oak leaves, crossed swords, and diamonds. Great. Sinking how many ships? Yeah, we will see that later in a better overview. So we are really going for the 250,000, but we still have a few tons to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice, 6 ship sunk. All right, then let's see. We don't have to rest. We need the
Guten Tag,
quartermaster.
Herr Kommandant. Was kann ich für Sie tun? Jawohl, das steht derzeit zur Verfügung.
What about the items we need to top off our coffee? Fuel, yes, refuel, ammo. I think we didn't fire the deck gun, we didn't fire the flag. But what about provisions? Let's sell the grain. Oh, see, this is really cheap. This gives almost no money. So that was really not worth the while, I would say. And the equipment, spare parts. And yeah, pretty important, the potassium absorbers. Now the torpedoes. Boat torpedoes. T3, T1, T1, T3. Boat torpedo storage. T1, T3, T1, T3, T1, T3. Perfect. And what about external storage in the bows? Get a T1 and a T3. Oh, nice. So we get these relatively modern. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Aqua icing. So I just was curious how much we would get from the grain. Usually I do it exactly like you say. Stern torpedo tube. It gets a sound-seeking one, and stern torpedo storage should get another sound seeker. So we are perfectly fine with the torpedo loadout like that.
Sonst noch etwas, Herr Kommandant? Jawohl, das steht derzeit zur Verfügung. Sonst noch etwas? Sehr gut. Kommen Sie zu mir, wenn Sie etwas benötigen.
What about the potatoes? Oh shit, no, we just have too much food. All the potatoes. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's right. There are a few pieces of, a few items that give you quite a lot of money, but if you can only pick up 5 of them, or 10 or whatsoever, it really isn't worth the while. Exactly. 100% agree, that's the problem. If budget were more of a problem, then you might like to do that, but not in the balancing as it is at the moment. Now let's rest until the stuff.
Bleibt ruhig und konzentriert, Männer. Wir schaffen das.
Yeah, this alarm is just about the fishing boats. No.
Guten Tag, Herr Kommandant. Jawohl, das steht derzeit zur Verfügung. Sonst noch etwas, Herr Kommandant? Sehr gut. Kommen Sie zu mir, wenn Sie...
Okay, that's alright. A hell lot of potatoes we have.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy?
Herr Kapitän?
Ja?
Ja?
Herr Kaloy?
Ja.
Torpedoes are fine, just as well. External storage, yeah, great. And what about the stern torpedoes? Oh yeah, yes, Colin. Yeah, that's what I always tend to forget about, to release the prisoners.
Alarm beenden.
Alright, it's getting late around here. Oh wow, we are already approaching 3 o'clock. So that was quite a long stream tonight. It was again, no, more than 3 hours, but I think it was good fun. We did sink quite a lot of ships, and that brought us a bit closer to finishing the Mediterranean mission. So let's briefly check if there is anything cool to raid. Ah, come on, not really. Ah, come on. Let's just call it a day. So, it was a pleasure to have you. Aqua Icing, Colin, great that you were in. Captain Jimbo, I don't know, I think you went to bed, didn't you? Uncle Bod, you were just lurking, but if you're still there, thanks for joining. Even lurking, just great. Weight loss, you were in from the very beginning. If you're still there, I wish you good night. Yeah, all of you, have a wonderful night. See you tomorrow. Yeah, as I said, tomorrow I'm gonna have a party. I'm invited on parties with one friend and one colleague, actually. But I think I will be back not too late, and I think I'm gonna do a little bit of streaming tomorrow as well. So, see you guys, bye bye, and have a good start into the weekend.